Well, folks, this is Jamil for Gunstock Reviews. We're here in Phoenix, Arizona at Enlo Custom Guns with Marty. How you doing, buddy?
Good.
Marty, this is our first aftermarket part for the Springfield Armory Echelon. And it comes from Apex Tactical. I know there's a couple of companies out there who are already making parts for them. We discussed Powder River Precision has parts. Springer Precision has some parts. Now Apex is the first one that we have here on hand. We'll get more parts later. We'll talk about them later. But the first thing is the guy rod assembly. Apex has two different flavors of a stainless steel guy rod that adds weight. According to Randy Lee, one of the co-owners at Apex, this is about almost 8 times heavier than the polymer that is actually 8 grams in weight.
Okay.
And this one is about 8 times as much in weight. And it has a couple of really cool features. It's really easy to install. It has Allen's screw on front. This is actually Torx. So we were looking at Allen. This is actually a Torx. So yeah, and that's why we were like,
wow, yeah.
We were like,
oh, here,
we'll find a Torx for it. So this will be really interesting because it's easy to take apart, but we have found, in my experience, that I took it apart yesterday, the guy rod takes apart like a Glock striker. It has 2 cups in the back. So the back, you push the spring down and these 2 little cups come out. But you have to be really, really careful not to let go of that spring, because my living room has 16-foot ceilings. It just went patoing, and I'm like looking at it go up and watching it come down. Oh, there it is. So and the spring is about yay long. Okay, so Apex is including a compression tool with their kit, so you can actually put the spring in and push it down, and then be able to torque the screw on. And also another feature, the back plate, what goes against the gun, has 2 flats in it. So those 2 flats are there for you to be able to put on a vise if you want to get more torque on it. We have this rubber mat in here from Ransom Rest, and it's going to be a little easier to get a little torque in there, but I don't know if you're going to be able to torque it down.
You know, if you don't have a vise, you could use a crescent wrench too. I mean, you know, just something with 2 flats.
Yeah. That's a good idea too. Like I said, these are the completed parts. They are a whole lot heavier than the part from Springfield. So this is a great first accessory to help control muscle rise. It's not going to help a whole lot, but it's going to help a little bit. So let's go ahead and do it.
Okay, so first thing, we're going to disassemble the gun, right? So rotate the takedown lever and slide the slide off. Lift the mainspring out of it, and this is where you want safety glasses, right? Because as we were describing, right, you're basically going to put a lot of force on the table here, and these cups are going to come. If this thing slips out of your hand, it's basically aimed right at your head, so you at least don't want it to hit you in the eye. And I'm going to nice and easy kind of just bring this off. I really don't want to spring it that hard, but yeah, and this thing is fairly long, right? But you can see these 2 cups here, right, how it's attached, right? This whole unit was being held together with that spring, right? And then now we've separated those. So then we're just going to take a guide rod and we're going to apply some Loctite to this. This is kind of a first-gen part. It's not quite done yet. We're, from what I understand, Apex is going to be putting some Loctite on the screw itself, but at least the one that we have here, it hasn't been applied. And
need a knife to cut the tip off.
Yeah, the tip's no good here, but that's okay. There we go. So a little bit of Loctite.
We're going to use blue for just in case when you take it apart later.
Mm-hmm. And this is where this handy tool comes involved, right? So it's got bigger and smaller end, right? You're going to put the big end over the spring and guide it carefully. And once again, you want safety glasses because if this thing slips out of your hand, once again, it's going straight at your face. So you don't want that. And then we will go ahead and screw that down with some Torx. And I'm just gonna do this off camera here in just a sec. I'm gonna tweak this down just a little, I'm gonna hold it in a vise and just cinch it. So once again, you're gonna torque this down, right? And there's 2 flats here on the back. I used a vise because it would be a lot more trouble for me to just walk over and grab a crescent wrench out of a toolbox, right? But if you don't have a vise, you would simply just hold it with the crescent wrench, cinch that down. I mean, Loctite will hold pretty good anyway. But or just, you know, simply hold it pretty tight. You could even get a wrench on there. That's probably not that big a deal. But from there, your guide rod just goes straight back in the front here, and you're going to run the flats on the side, and then reassemble. There you go.
Yeah, Marty and I were discussing that I feel it more front heavy. He doesn't feel it, but like you said, once you put ammo in it, it's not going to make that much of a difference in the weight because you're going to add 17 or 20 rounds onto it.
I will point this out. I mean, you know, I haven't handled the gun that much, but obviously you shot it more than I have. But I also don't have another gun here to compare. Say, oh hey, it's right here. But you know, obviously it weighs a little more, but it's not. I don't perceive it. So there you go.
No, I mean it's only eight times in the weight is 60-something grams versus 8. So yeah, just a little bit, enough to be helpful in your muscle rise a little bit. It's not, but it's stainless steel, a little softer than the old days we used to use tungsten, and then those things used to fly out of your gun. So that's not good. You'll be replacing parts every 2 weeks. So that's not good. But Marty, thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it. Thanks for the help. And guys, like always, like this video, share this video, and subscribe to the channel. And remember, please remain healthy, stay safe, and definitely have fun at the range.